damn thing because I can't see. All right, and we are live. So now, oh my God, I'm not ready. I'm scared and I'm not ready. Are you there? I thought I put you back. Good angle. All right, da-da-da-da-da. Bear with me as always, folks. This is live and I suck at what I do. Da-da-da-da, bam. Well, I gotta do 50 fucking things at once.
Welcome to Rottcast. Dinosaur production.
Damn it, there is it. Maybe I'll scoot over just a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got 3 viewers right off the bat, dude. Fuck yeah. They're excited to have you, Dan. Hello, motherfuckers and ex-motherfuckers and Machine Corpse. Coming in loud and heavy. Let's fade that out. Sorry, the engineer is on maternity leave. He got pregnant, and we're kind of scared because we're pretty sure it's an alien infestation. Fucking Jerry.
Yeah.
What'd I tell you about Jerry, dude?
That Jerry guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, follow my production notes. Why do all this work if I'm not going to look at them? Let's see. I shut down the room. I checked the mic levels, kinda. Set up the live cast. That seems to be going right now. I have lots of viewers on. Hi, Mom. Good morning. I'm using my wife's pink cup because Dan was kind enough to bring me a crazy big cup of coffee. Crazy big.
I saw all the sizes. I said, it's crazy big. I got to get the crazy big one.
Because my wife didn't leave me any fucking coffee this morning. And I wake up drinking tea and I immediately am in a bad fucking mood. Immediately. So I want to say, people, for the ones commenting and shit, I can't really, as usual, see your comments because that's weird. That's 2 different angles. I got 2 camera angles. Let's see, camera 1, camera 2.
Camera 1?
Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 3.
What?
I don't know. I think it's whatever the ones the government has installed.
Oh, okay.
I'm really excited to have a guest today. So I'm going to have to focus because I'm like a squirrel. And now I have coffee for the first time. I'm all out of marijuana. I see my mom on there, and I see Tracy Abbott on there. You guys are typing stuff. But, let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It seemed a lot more intricate when I was working on it, writing it out. But, basically, I'm just going to ignore it like I usually do. But I will get some shout-outs real quick for all the music that I'm playing today. It's all mostly local bands from Alaska. It's got Zombie Unicorn, which is Adam Hullen, at Zombie Unicorn Music at Facebook. Chris Barton, of course, of Machine Corpse, who does all the cool sound bites you hear, because I basically just stolen our songs that we wrote in Machine Corpse and have chopped them up with his permission. And, so Machine Corpse. Psycho Mule, which is right now one of my favorite bands in Alaska. They got to just open up for Green Jelly when dude came by, Bill Manspeaker. If you know anything about that, look it up on the interweb and learn more about that. He just goes around to different states and picks fucking, it's like having somebody in the back seat. It's kind of weird. And picks local band members to fucking go play the Green Jello fucking songs. So it gives costumes and you should watch it on YouTube. It's fucking crazy. Also, of course, fucking my band, Rotten Wretched, with my beautiful wife, Amanda Wretched, a.k.a. Remnant Muse Art, also on Facebook. Go look at her stuff. Share her stuff. You don't have to buy stuff, but you should because it's awesome and she's going to be famous. She just scored another, what's up, Darth Bartimus? Darth Bartimus was in the Green Jelly show I was just talking about.
Oh, far out.
Yeah, it's Marty Rathburn and then Chuck Shumway, my old drummer from Machine Corpse. Donnie Jenkins and Jamie Liston, both my old guitar players. So it was cool, man. The guys I know got to do that. And those shows looked insane. I'm assuming it was insane. Don't lean too hard into the mic, Dennis, because that's just going to do a big old sound spike. All right. Perfect. I like how when the song's in, I'm going to keep an eye on that because I've got little things. Okay, I still got a good... Oh, yeah, I see the Rottcast intro needs to go. Professionalism. So, this is Dan, ladies and gentlemen. He's a co-worker of mine. He felt bad for me and convinced the boss to hire me. I was a homeless street rat at the time. Hooked heavily on the cancer sticks. But moving towards... Come on, I can do 2 things at once. Damn it, Jerry. There it is. Towards vaping full time. And you hear a lot of bullshit about it and everything else. But anyways, Dan, say hello to the
Hello, people. I have things to say, eventually. I have notes.
He has notes. I asked him to make notes. I'm really concerned about the shit that I hear. First off, I get the douche flute and all of that shit on the vaping. And that's today's topic. It's basically just going to be about vaping and the industry of it. And I don't talk too smart good. So Dan here, you could ask him about fucking anything. And to the point of like, okay, you shut my brain down. It's overloaded. The fan did not kick on. And I don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. And somehow we've moved always into Chinese culture or Asian culture with you.
Yeah.
No, everything, I know, everything, I've noticed everything ends in some sort of yucca berry or fucking shit. I've never heard of so many new fruits and berries in my life as I have since I started in the vape industry. You just get these stone guys like, I don't know, man. Have you ever heard of a Yuzuza? Is it, you know, yeah, and then just weird shit.
Definitely.
Like they're gonna use a vape juice, man, and bam, idiots. All right, so Dan.
Yes.
I don't know. What should I say? What should I ask you?
Well, I'm going to tell you why calling them douche flutes and making vaping uncool could potentially be a good thing. The big thing that people keep talking about lately is the youth vaping epidemic, which, if you look at the actual numbers, is not an epidemic. What's happened is that a lot of the youth have been turning from smoking to vaping, which in my mind is somewhat of a good thing. Obviously, we don't want kids under 18 to vape or use
I saw a stat the other day that smoking in general, it was that one where I posted about, I like this, I don't even have to look at you, are you just looking at this monitor?
Yeah.
And I engage. But that Marlboro was talking about dropping their nicotine, I think it was Marlboro, completely, their tobacco line, their combustible cigarettes. Let's just call them cigarettes. Why do I keep trying to use terminology? It's cancer sticks, and going fully into vaping, and that tells you something. A, they know it's a trend that's happening, but B, they still get to deliver their nicotine to people. I don't know, I lost it there.
But, I mean, I think the whole thing is that you've got big pharmaceutical companies, and to an extent, the tobacco companies have been trying to lobby for elimination of vaping products.
It's taking all their money. It's
taking all of their money. And the evidence of that is shown in, like, the latest statements from the FDA. They were talking about how, youth vaping is an epidemic and blah, blah, blah. But the numbers don't really show that. They show that there's a slight increase in youths vaping, but a massive decrease in youths using tobacco.
I'm down with that. Because also, I mean, of course, minors shouldn't vape. They shouldn't do anything. If you can avoid it.
But they're going to anyway.
But it has the option. I know a lot of people that, like, even my daughter, who I think she's given it up now, or doesn't vape, but she started at zero nicotine.
Yeah.
They're vaping just to vape the flavors.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
I mean, and kids experiment. That's kind of how the process works. I mean, we all did some manner or form. But anyway, nonetheless, the what I was getting at was that
I'm an interrupter.
The latest thing coming from the FDA is they were looking at possibilities for reducing youth nicotine use. And one of the ways they were looking at was fucking Chantix.
No, man, that shit's
Chantix for kids. Can you believe this shit? They're going to put kids
it's a great t-shirt.
On more antidepressants and shit.
But that's a great... Chantix for kids, it's catchy. It's how we operate. They eat 2 bowls of Fruit Loops in the morning, but don't get any sleep, get sent out to school every day, and they're wondering why they're all hyper little fuckers, and they drug them up. This country drugs up children, so yeah.
But it just speaks to me to the fact that the FDA and the various regulators in the process of trying to ban various vaping products are being paid for by the freaking big pharmaceutical companies, because they're the ones that are saying, hey, well, use our patches, use our gum, use our Chantix and whatever, instead of, alternatives. But when it comes down to it, vaping is the grassroots movement to get away from smoking. This is what us as smokers did to get rid of their tobacco habit.
Absolutely. 2 packs a day. It was killing me. I was on dual inhalers. The only inhaler I use now is my morning one. I sometimes forget to even carry my emergency inhaler around with me. I haven't needed it forever. And that's why I want to talk, because I want people to understand that it's it helps. It really does. I'm not going off because I sell vape or anything, or I know because of how my lungs feel inside and how my life is just improved greatly by getting off those fucking things. And the smell. And the other day I bummed one off my wife because I'll still have one or two a week, maybe, you know. But and I'm smoking it and I'm realizing like, fuck, I can't do anything. I gotta hold on to this fucking stupid thing.
Yeah.
And then I gotta put it down and I don't want to burn anything. And then my fingers stink. You smell everything, and like just in all of that alone, this is a better habit. You can get away with it in more places, and you get way more nicotine and a pure nicotine. And nicotine itself is a drug, yes, but it's not a bad drug inherently.
It's actually a mild stimulant, so it's very comparable to the effects of caffeine.
You get a cocoa leaf and put it in your mouth, and then a fucking tobacco leaf on the other side, and you're gonna be feeling good.
Well, you hear about all these people. They talk about nootropics, right? People use nootropics a lot. Nootropics are supposed to be smart drugs.
That's Alpha Brain.
Yeah, Alpha Brain's got a bunch of nootropics.
I just watched a whole video on that, and I'm interested in trying it for a week.
Nicotine is.
Dan also used to be a. Oh, sorry, I forget. I have two cameras here, guys. I'm sorry. Dan also used to be a supplement dude.
Yeah.
So
I was
we'll
in the
get into that
industry for
the
almost
next
8
time
years.
he's a guest.
But yeah, the nootropics are what a lot of people use. You know, they call them smart drugs. They use them when they study and so on and so forth. Nicotine's a nootropic. It actually helps with the what do you call it? Well, if we break down the whole process, right? There's a B vitamin called niacin.
I know. I said we used to take that for fun to.
And you get all flushed
up and fucking.
Niacin's official name initially was nicotinic acid. You didn't know that, huh?
No, I did not know that.
Nicotinic acid. It was called that because the structure of it is very similar to nicotine. They actually work on the same pathways in the brain. So it's kind of like, if you look at the way that it works as far as helping with focus and so on and so forth, nicotine does very similar things. Yes, it's addictive, but it's not nearly as addictive as people seem to make it out to be.
A lot of that, the addiction thing, it works both ways. It can be bad, but it's also good because your body wants some things. You know? It's weird how quickly it grasps onto these things. You're like, oh, yes, you're part of my chemistry. It's because there's a lot of shit that goes back further than we know. They've also have studies proving that nicotine helps fight against dementia.
Yes.
Since I have that in my family, I am very happy about that. So
it's also very useful for people with IBS and other like pretty serious. That's probably why our boss
he's right here.
uses a lot of nicotine.
I'm trying to see what it says. Something kids drinking. Oh, god damn it! Wait, I could go. Hold on. We're gonna go fourth wall here.
Oh,
there we go. So my boss Ian, who owns Vape and Smoke, and was the guy that took mercy on me. Triple packs Marlboros all day. I'm doing this back. Fuck Marlboro, the douche vaping epidemic. Kids drinking is an epidemic. Pain pills are an epidemic. Here's son, I love you. Here's some suicidal thoughts and a pill.
Yeah, no
First
shit.
off, Ian, those are lyrics that are mine now. Unless you stole those from one of your fucking church burning bands, but. What?
But back to my original
Okay.
point.
Oh yeah. You better be prepared to wander. But Dan's used to me. So if you guys can hear everything, let me know if the sound quality is good.
But back to my original point, I was talking about how it may be useful to make vaping not as cool, and that's kind of part of the process too. I think with kids that are trying to get into vaping, they're talking like. Oh, well, vaping is kind of cool, it's kind of interesting, I don't know, I want to try it, blah, blah, blah. If we make it less cool, call them douche flutes all the fucking time. Maybe the kids won't care. Like, yeah, this is something these old assholes do, and then they won't care about it anymore.
Honestly, I love the term douche flute. I think I would buy more.
Hey, I prefer personal electronic nicotine inhalation system,
Penis.
aka penis.
Yes. Penis.
Excuse me while I suck on my penis.
Let's suck on our penis together, Dad. We're blowing fat clouds. No, I got a lot of friends that resist it and don't understand. Dude, no, go see a doctor immediately. You had a bad night at the bar. You need to see somebody. I'm addicted to weed too, and of course weed's addicted, but we're not talking about that today.
It's not nearly as addictive as nicotine.
No, not. It's addicted on a more psychological level, but your body does adapt to it.
Yeah.
And, I have grown up enough to be able to say that, yeah, of course, I shouldn't have been smoking as much weed as I was since I was fucking 13 years old. On the other hand, I think if I hadn't self-maintained some sort of sanity growing up, they would have slapped somebody. They tried a couple times. It just didn't take with me. I don't like shit in my body telling my brain what to do. I sense it. It sucks, dude. Like that, what are you doing way up there? That fucking, Wellbutrin shit they put me on for my first panic attacks drove me fucking insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So, cool, dude. Fucking, yeah, they should make it douchier, but kids are still gonna do it, but I don't see them because, A, you can control the level of nicotine. So, unlike cigarettes, you can go from a cigarette to a light, which there was a study years ago that proved that actually lights were worse for you.
Yeah.
Because you tend to inhale deeper
yeah.
into your lungs, to where Marb Red, man, it's like, yeah. But, goddamn, my brain. I'm trying to do all
the level of nicotine, right?
Yeah. So it dropped down, and I'm down from when I first started when they were in Fairbanks, or we were getting it from Fairbanks from Arctic Vapor, and they were just gas station juices, and they 32 milligram in a stick pen. I remember falling asleep once or passing out. Let's be honest, with that fucker in my mouth and drank a whole tank. But now down to 3 milligram, and I just did a 6 because we got a 6 in Alaska. And fuck, I can't do it.
It's harsh, right?
It's way harsh. And
it's
also
pretty crazy because it's one of those things where it feels like your body is regulating itself on that respect, you know, as far as how much nicotine you can intake. Now, when it comes to the pod systems, it's a little different story because it's not as harsh, but I notice myself using it less because it's higher nicotine intake.
Now, the pod systems. See, now, here's another thing that might stop some people. Some people don't want a mod with the fat tank, and they don't want the fucking dual batteries and dealing with the battery chargers and shit, and they don't want the fucking clouds. Which, for me, it was a big part of the mental war for quitting smoking, was knowing that I had something I was exhaling.
Right.
But these new pod systems are actually coming out with decent puffs, man.
Yeah.
And you get a buzz. But
Yeah.
I'm saying for the simple guy that just wants something small and easy, or girl, Jesus, I'm not gender identifying here. They seem to be the new technology, and especially now with that Orion.
And what's absolutely hilarious to me is that seeing, because I've been into vaping since 2011, and you watch the progression of the technology come along, and realistically, the underlying technology is pretty fucking simple. You've got a wire element, heating element, a coil. You've got wicking material through the coil, and then you have some kind of battery that supplies power, right?
Right.
Generally, that stuff's remained the same.
Look how sexy your voice is.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. It's coming in good, man.
But what we started out with in the very early days was stuff that looked like a cigarette. And it had a shitty little cartridge that held really tiny amounts of liquid.
I remember those.
It had a shitty little battery that
the little
wouldn't
light
get you
though
through a
was the
few
cool
hours.
part. No, and I've never had one of those that lasted as many puffs as I said. For
Yeah.
those or weed. Where is that little fucking thing? Sitting around here somewhere.
But the whole thing is that you started out with small battery, small coil, low power, low output, but high nicotine. And then it progressed to bigger and bigger systems with bigger output and lower nicotine. And now we're kind of going back with the pod systems because they're all small systems, little bit of like little coil, little battery, but massive nicotine upgrade. So it's kind of like this back and forth. You want low output? Well, then get high nicotine. You want high output? Go for low nicotine. It's kind of this back and forth. But you watch the way that it progressed. There was a period of time where we called the wattage wars, where every manufacturer was trying to make the highest power output possible. And then you get dual, triple, quad battery units.
Yeah. And people still come in thinking that that's the way to do it. Like, they want to go that 220 full fucking. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, calm down.
There's not much that really changes. It's just trends in a sense. Although the one latest thing that has really changed things a lot was the mesh coil heads.
Mesh.
Mesh coil heads are amazing because you get higher output without needing as much power. So it's massive.
Now you're talking, of course, with where we're discussing freebase nicotine units,
right.
And oh my God, what are those called? Sub-ohm
Sub-ohm.
units.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Is that right? I might be using the wrong terminology.
No, that's totally the terminology that's used pretty frequently, but the problem with that terminology is that you can have high output with high resistance as well. It's just a matter of the power that you need. So it's kind of this back and forth now. Things are kind of starting to get to a more homogenized state where you see these people going, okay, well, it's high output versus low output instead of sub-ohm versus greater than an ohm. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that, folks. Sure.
But
I need more Dennis, less Dan.
But it's kind of interesting to see, like pretty much high output systems generally people default to the freebase nicotine, and there are two types of nicotine on the market. That's kind of the latest thing now.
It's not what you think when he says freebase. You wanna? I was actually before we go on. I'm sure this is where you were heading.
Yep.
But the salts. What is the difference between a freebase and it's not baking soda? I know. I was confused. I brought a torch. I was ready to pawn some shit. And Dan was like, whoa, dude. Whoa. And then we smoked a bunch of crack. That was fun. And then, look at all these views I got, by the way. John Talbot, actually, I have a thing about the American spirits we'll get to in a second.
Oh, yeah.
He knows everything. So a freebase nicotine versus a salt nicotine.
So the basic vape liquids, right? The basic vape liquids, you've got propylene glycol, you've got vegetable glycerin. Those are your two major bases to the liquid.
Antifreeze, Dan?
Negative. It is not antifreeze.
You know how I know it's not antifreeze? Because at minus 44 below zero, my vape juice would not move. It didn't freeze, but it did not move.
It gets very, very thin.
Yeah, I could not. You see, it would just kind of slurp out like that and then just go all over. It wouldn't even go into the thing. It was a fucking... You ever had fucking vape juice all over your fingers? Anyways, I digress. Continue.
But the whole antifreeze thing, people talk about antifreeze and vape liquid, and really what they're referring to is propylene glycol.
The same idiots.
Propylene glycol is not antifreeze. There's a couple of other glycols that are similar in somewhat similar in structure, but propylene glycol was starting to be added to antifreeze at some point because it's not toxic. That's why if you see, they see all the warnings about antifreeze and animals shouldn't be exposed to antifreeze.
My buddy had a dog named Dammit, and his name was Red Dog. The Red Dog had a dog named Dammit, and Dammit used to drink antifreeze all the time. They couldn't stop him. He's a little tiny dog too. Dammit, what a great name for a dog.
Yeah.
Come here, Dammit.
Dammit.
Dammit would do amazing things like jump out the second story window into the snow.
Jesus.
Like he was a crazy little dog. Red Dog, Garcia's Eagle River, man. He's been there like 25 years. All right.
But the propylene glycol thing is it was added to antifreeze as a less toxic alternative to the other antifreezes. But nonetheless, propylene glycol has been used in asthma inhalers for ages.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually something that's used in the medical system a lot. They experimented with using a vaporized form of propylene glycol in hospital airways, air systems, in order to, because it's antimicrobial to an extent. So
to an extent, I rock a mic. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I got your voice coming in a little better now.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
But the propylene glycol is also used in a lot of foods. It's used in a lot of medicines, things of that nature. It's a pretty generally recognized as safe, is the terminology they use. Generally recognized as safe. Even for some inhalation purposes, although I don't know if it's been studied that much. But anyway, I lost track of what we were talking about. Right, so
difference between nicotine salts and
the freebase stuff. Okay, so you got propylene glycol, you got vegetable glycerin, you've got your food grade flavorings. Generally, these are flavorings that are made for candy and baking purposes. But are they 100% safe? Probably not.
Nothing is.
Based on the studies.
What does that mean? I mean, come on, 100% safe. Okay, so
yeah. So I'm going to sidetrack a little bit because we're talking about flavorings, right? So some of the food grade flavorings they talk about being really bad. Mostly you hear people talk about popcorn lung. Popcorn lung is not a condition.
Yeah, hold on, I got to go to my thing here because I believe... Yeah, but the popcorn lung, go ahead and do a quick thing on that. This is going to be a long one, folks.
But popcorn lung, they talk about that shit. But basically, what it was is a mysterious sort of condition that they noticed happening to people that worked in factories where they make microwave popcorn.
Yeah.
And so these people are exposed to a stupid amount of this flavoring called diacetyl and acetylpropanol. Those are the two major ones. But generally, these are things that give stuff buttery flavor. So what they ended up doing is these people that worked in this factory, they started coming down with this weird lung condition. They started examining it, and they determined it was due to this buttery flavoring. And these people were exposed to a ridiculous amount of this stuff.
They were basically swimming in it.
Yeah, and breathing it, and it was absorbing in their skin, and so on and so forth. But they developed a lung condition called bronchiolitis obliterans, something like that, which sounds very metal. But
Does sound pretty metal. Juice.
but the end result was that they started, instituting more safety regulation, blah blah blah. Well, somewhere along the line, somebody decided to look at what was in some of the flavorings we were using for vaping products, and they discovered these two components in some of the flavorings, the acetylpropanol and the propylene glycol, which is, hey, that's cool. I love that they're actually looking into the flavorings a little more and starting to get a little more of an understanding of it. However, that led to massive, media outcry, essentially, saying, oh my god, it's going to cause popcorn lung, and then people just took it and ran with it. And then you get all of these people that are against the vaping industry for God knows why.
Well, not to mention, most people are sensationalists, and if you say something like that, they won't even enjoy it. And a lot of people are trying to make that shift into something new that we all, deep inside, we all kind of are just waiting for the bomb to drop and be like, boom.
It's like, this thing I've been doing is fucking terrible for me all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But here's the rub. So you look at the acetylpropanol and propylene glycol, acetylpropanol and
biggest words you will ever hear on this podcast.
Those two flavorings, those two things that they say causes popcorn lung. Those two things are present in cigarette smoke, and in an order of magnitude larger, like way larger amounts than you would find in vapor products.
Did you ever see that fucking YouTube guy where he takes a fucking bottle, sets it up, and draws? And he did like 15 hours of vape.
Sorry, I keep kicking this microphone.
That's all right. It'll sound great on the thing.
Oh,
which I got
sure.
your spikes. Yeah, I'm sorry that
Rip
this
headphone users.
This is your setup.
Oh.
But dude, literally, once we're caught up, this is going to be different. The next time you do this, the next time you come, we're going to talk about like supplements and brain stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. I don't know if you can read a shirt. Camera one, nicotine. See, I'm juggling because this is easier than doing this, and it makes me look like a douchebag. I'm sorry, folks. This will all be better soon. But
back to the point is that those quote unquote popcorn lung components are found in cigarette smoke in massively larger amounts, and you don't hear about smokers getting popcorn lung.
No,
you hear about them getting stuff like COPD and
that's terrible.
Heart disease.
So freebase so the nicotine salts.
Right. So back to this, the differences in nicotine. So initially you've got your major components of the liquids, and the other major component is nicotine if you want it. And then nicotine in and of itself in vaping products is generally derived from tobacco. It's isolated by itself, thus the name freebase. So it's not bound to any other components.
Tobacco comes in a powder form. I did not know that.
No, you can powder any kind of a leaf.
I just wonder if you could snort it.
Yeah, that's what snuff is, man.
Okay, well, once again proving how stupid I am. Of course it's snuff. I love snuff. You know Copenhagen's a snuff?
Oh, yeah. Technically.
Oh, dude, we used to do that on the school bus. I remember a kid puked, and then I was puking out the window. We'd be assholes. Rolled the clicky windows up on his fingers, and he was stuck.
Oh,
He almost got frostbite. It's like 30 below zero outside, right? Alaska kids are assholes.
But anyway, so freebase nicotine. It's not bound to other shit.
Bringing it back.
But somewhere along the line, somebody realized that freebase nicotine is very alkaline. So, no, I'm good, thank you.
Slow them down a little bit.
Yeah, it's very alkaline. So when you inhale freebase nicotine vapor, it's a little harsh on the throat, and you get what people call a throat hit. It's like thump at the back of the throat.
It's a good shit right there, folks. If
Yeah,
especially if you're trying to quit smoking.
Yeah, it's what many of us who went from smoking to vaping started to realize that was that feeling of satisfaction. Is you get that thump in the back of the throat, and you feel like, okay, I'm getting something here. But what they've realized is that you can't go very high in the concentration of nicotine before it becomes too harsh on the throat.
Way too harsh. So you're talking 12 milligrams.
Like 18, 24 milligram. So
Is the max these days, right?
12 is kind of the max in a sense. And there are a lot of people that use 12 milligram in these high output systems, and they're totally fine with it.
I fell for that once for that one dude. He was like, here, you want to try it? And I was like, sure. And I didn't realize he was running at like 150 watts of fucking 12 milligram, dude. And that made me sick.
Makes you cough your head off.
Oh, yeah, well, it's just unpleasant. It's unpleasant, but good.
So in order to...
Hold on, shout out to fucking Psycho Mule, Alaska Metal, Rock. I fucking love you guys.
In order to compensate for the low output of these newer pod systems, they decided that they needed higher nicotine, right?
Right.
And in order to make the higher nicotine easier on the throat and less likely to cause somebody to cough or what have you, they developed a form of nicotine, or what they did is they tried to mimic the form of nicotine that you get from tobacco smoke. Because in tobacco smoke, you've got a form of nicotine that is bound to an acid. So you take freebase nicotine, you bind it to an acid, you get a nicotine salt. It's called a salt form. That's chemistry, I don't fucking know. But anyway.
Yeah, we have a picture of a molecule by the nicotine salts.
Yes.
I found an article that I've laid out, so I try to explain to people, but...
It's pretty trippy.
It is trippy.
Look at the chemical structure. But nonetheless, so nicotine salts, because they're slightly acidic, they usually use like a malic acid or a citric acid, something like that. It's more customizable, so you can make it as smooth on the throat or as harsh on the throat as you want. But the other benefit of a nicotine salt is that it feels more like a cigarette. So you've got your standard freebase nicotine. It's absorbed mostly in the mouth and the throat. And then with the salts, it's absorbed mostly through the lungs. But because you don't have the tar of cigarette smoke, it actually doesn't stick around.
That's another transitional thing I've noticed is some people get scared because they're like, oh, well, I'm coughing up all this moist shit and my lungs feel wet. I'm like, well, if you had just quit smoking anyways, you're going to be puking up shit forever. Everybody knows that. But this, I do admit, there is, at first, is kind of like that, but it clears up. And, like, I have suffered from bronchitis and pneumonia my whole life. I have been through the hospital dozens of times for it. And I haven't had it once since I've had this. And I had bronchitis once because I just got sick, and it healed right up.
It's kind of interesting because you think about it, it's like people are coughing up this clear shit a lot. and basically people that first transition over to vaping, they're coughing up some of the goop and whatever, or they feel like,
Hi, Albert Allen, old boss.
They've got more congestion or what have you.
New boss. Old boss. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you sometimes because I have Facebook viewers coming on.
I see how you are.
Oh, whatever. It's the only way to shut you up. Fuck. No, dude.
But I think part of that is that it's your lungs doing their job, man. Your lungs are meant to get rid of shit that's not supposed to be there. So when you inhale this vapor, it recognizes it's not supposed to be there, and it can get rid of it. When you inhale cigarette smoke, that tar sticks. It doesn't go. So it kind of fucking sits there.
Dude, my doctor cannot fucking admit, due to his profession, anything about vaping. They're just not...
That's hilarious to me.
No, but yet he's sitting there and raising his eyebrows at my results because... a side note, when I quit drinking, I was at my worst, dude. I was drinking 2 fifths a day, blah, blah, blah. Puking blood. That's how my wife caught me, and she made me go to the doctor, like a dog. She tricked me, said we were going to go to the park. I ended up at a fucking doctor's office. And he said, oh, well, you literally... Because I didn't start drinking until I was 28, so the damage in the 10 or 15 years that I drank was minimal, believe it or not. Although I drink heavy. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. I quit everything at once. I quit drinking the next day after I drank a fifth. One last fifth.
Okay, that one last.
It's a good country song. One last fifth. And I fucking I made a bunch of changes and shit, and I got off the cigarettes, and then I went back fucking like 3 months later when I got diagnosed with RA, dicks. But yeah, it changed, dude. But he can't admit it. It drives me crazy because it fucking works. I can't say that legally at work, but I can say it on my fucking podcast. It works for me, and I only go off of results of my own fucking experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
you guys could join in, by the way, if you want to. Just push join, and I'll invite you on, and you could be on the screen there.
The other thing that really trips me out is that people talk about how nicotine's so addictive and blah, blah, blah. And realistically, it's the other components in cigarette smoke that make all the difference, right? Because you've got the nicotine in cigarette smoke, but you also have what they call MAOIs. They're antidepressant, basically, compounds that come out of cigarette smoke. Those combined with the nicotine make cigarettes incredibly addicting. So it's like, many people like me, I was incredibly depressed when I started smoking. So
yeah, I think everybody's incredibly depressed, and they just don't think that you can deal with it anymore.
Possibly. I mean,
our generation was raised to think that you can be medicated.
Yeah,
it's okay to be depressed, but we were told that that's something wrong.
Yeah,
we were set that you shouldn't be depressed. We live in America, God damn it, America. This is the land of opportunity. Hold on a second. I got a good comment here. I don't know why I did that, from Tim about this very subject. Tim is a vape connoisseur and now I'm just stumbling through fucking Facebook like an idiot here. Jerry?
That was cool. How'd you do that?
I don't know. All right. Oh, we got Beverly here saying, good to see Dan engaging. Last time I saw him, he was in someone else's video. You were what?
No.
You son of a fucking cheating bitch. Get the fuck out. You don't come on my podcast like I'm some sort of sloppy... We're going to have a talk. Tim Lambert. Thank you, Bev. Good to see you. I'm glad you're watching. Hi, Albert. I missed you, boss. Looks like you're really happy. That makes me happy. Let's see. Tim Lambert. Vaping saved me from the evils of smoking. My buddy that tunes a vape shop that I go to and got me started in vaping is an advocate for the Start Vaping, Quit Smoking movement. Yeah, most vape shops are.
And that's the thing, man, is like a lot of people that get into the business.
Look at that.
That's
2
their
years
whole
without
point.
cigarettes, and I smoked for 32 years.
Damn,
And he smoked in an industry. He's a stagehand.
Oh, yeah.
So he smoked in a... what do we got creeping up on us here? Oh, this is the remix. Oh, no. Oh. The song tells the truth, man. We have to go to Metal News now.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
I'll shut up for a minute.
Yeah, but okay, but it's better for you. We're going to get back to this. I just had to do my stupid thing. So, that was awful, though, because I wasn't paying attention, and now I can't see my icon over here. Bam. Oh, man, I need a better producer. Engineer. All right.
I think you need a stream deck.
A what?
A stream deck.
I don't know what that is, but you're going to help me out. Looks, my engineer. Again, thanks to Chris fucking Barton for all of the sound effects and shit. I robbed him so hard, but he's awesome, and if he wasn't so busy, I'd ask him to make me some stuff, and maybe I will. Everything's subject for change. Some Split Skull. I don't believe this band is dead. I think I'm gonna get Wes back one day. I think he wants to jam his own music. He's in a band, and I'm really happy for him. That's Metal News, I guess.
Well, yeah,
I should focus.
You guys need to do something, because I need to hear these songs again.
Yeah, and you own a fucking t-shirt.
Right?
Which I'm kind of disappointed you didn't wear today, but I'm not going to bring that up.
I had to wear this shirt, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, that was the subject, and I appreciate it. You know, it's okay. We expect guests maybe to bring gifts for the podcast, but I'm not famous yet, so I get that. Bring me on cam for a minute. Okay, how do I do that? I'll bring you on, Tim. Although I'm going into my Metal News segment. I did the sound bit, so I have to do that. So if you bear with me, I have news that I actually put in it for you specifically, buddy. So, all right. Metal Injection is the site that I got this from. So I'll try not to dig. Anyways.
We all have to research somewhere.
Yeah, right? I mean, if you type in Metal News, there's thousands of websites, and I've always liked Metal Injection, so we'll go with that. So All That Remains, their guitar player, died a little while ago. so kind of suspiciously in a pool, apparently, on antidepressants. And it's only suspicious because of the way that it all went down. So he passed away at 44 years old in October, drowning in a lake behind his home, only inches deep. His wife claimed in a statement that the toxology report... God, I gotta slow down. Toxology report, and it found antidepressants in his system. It's still been unresolved, and the police are investigating as suspicious. People close to the guitar player searching for answers on why it happened. The reason they're all kind of... There's a little element of conspiracy to it is because he had signed his will just a week before his death.
Oh, shit, that's kind of weird.
So that's boom. Yeah. And then they confirmed that he signed his... before his death. He named his wife Beth the executor and sole beneficiary of the guitarist's estate. That's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it specifically stated that his sister did not get anything. Which, you know, his sister could be a heroin addict. I don't know. I'm not saying. God, you got to be careful what you say on these things. Have some guy come down on me for slander. Anyways, the police are investigating. We'll learn more about that. Cannibal Corpse, whose guitar player went a little crazy, Pat O'Brien. You know that story. If you don't, go look it up. I'm not going to go over it again, but let's just say he had a very bad day. But Cannibal Corpse is not stopping. They are going to continue on the tour with Lamb of God and Armand Armath. It's Slayer's final tour. Yeah, this May. God, I wish I could see that. I missed the first one, and I'm going to regret that for the rest of my life. But his name is Eric Rutan, and he is from... I don't know. Really should do my research. He produces albums, I guess, 4 of them for Cannibal Corpse, so he knows the band, and he has also been in Morbid Angel. So, Jared Dines. I don't know if you know who this guy is, but he's just some dude who's from Seattle.
Dick Dines?
Yeah. He does all these crazy, like, parodies of metalheads and shit.
I love his YouTube channel.
Yeah, his YouTube. Check it out, Jared Dines' YouTube channel. But he did a collaboration. It's just a shred with all these different guitar players. They're hilarious and they're awesome. But this is the second one he did. I watched it the other day. It's great. Go check that out. It's got fucking Trivium's Matt Healy, Born of Arias, Lee McKinney, All That Remains live guitarist Jason Richardson, ex-Outworld guitar Rusty Cooley, Angel... I'm not even going to try. Nick Johnson and the famous YouTubers. Yeah, there's this one kid, the samurai guitarist.
Stevie Terberry or whatever.
Yeah, is that
Stevie T?
The
Canadian kid? No, he's the Canadian dude.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
He always makes the goofy ass faces and shit.
Yeah, it was cool. I checked it out.
He's funny as hell.
So, Zombie Unicorn playing in the background. Shout out to Adam Holland, Zombie Unicorn Music at Facebook. And he's got a Reverb Nation. Pretty easy to find. He let me download his songs, and he said he didn't turn it off, so there might be some free fucking... Here's my guitar player from the Shit Corpse.
Oh, no shit. It's getting foggy in here, man.
Never mind. I'll probably open that window, but... I don't like open the door, because then the dog will come bug me. I love my dog, but I hate her in this room. She pooped in here. This room's no longer hers. So some album releases in 2019. Devil Driver, Des Farfara, I can never pronounce his fucking name. Des, who used to be the singer for Cold Chamber, says the band was in the studio recording a total of 25 songs for a concept double record. He added that you're going to get a release every 15 to 18 months from Devil Driver from here on out in my career. So that's ambitious as fuck. It's a lot of music. He said 2019 is going to be a new Devil Driver record, hopefully. So he's got a thing there. Go check that out. I find really quick when I read these stories that I get bored by them while I'm doing it in the middle of it. Huge concert in Mexico City. Wishing I could be there with the Domination Festival. Kiss, Alice Cooper, Meshuggah, Lamb of God, Slash, Limp Bizkit. Glad you're still out there, buddy. Trivium, Hellstorm, Converge. I talk funny. Black Delilah Murder. My buddy Andy pointed out that I mispronounced some words, and now I'm fucking stuck in my head.
Who is it? Black Dahlia?
Yeah, thank you, Dahlia.
Dahlia.
I can't fuck off. Fuck that band. I don't like them. Stupid name. They're a great band.
But you got Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, you got Limp Bizkit. That's where it's at right there. My hands are sorry. I'm in the middle of a huge anxiety attack, by the way, too.
Oh, Jesus.
It comes and it goes. It's just my brain trying to fuck with the rot. It's really good at it, too. That's Armand might release an album. I'm hoping. Of course, the album title is Berserker of the Stamford Bridge. It's about the end of the Viking era, as of course it is. Another Psycho Mule song. Focusing on the Vikings invading England. While being less specific, the shield wall is about the Viking tactic of literally making a wall out of a shield and marching towards the enemy, or defending from them. Anyways, yeah, I don't understand how the show Vikings doesn't have exclusively fucking Armand Armand's music playing for it.
Yeah, no shit.
Anthrax. Joey Belladonna's return to Anthrax has proved that the band still had it, I guess. I don't know. I love Anthrax, kinda. Anyways, they're slated to put out an album maybe in 2019. Carcass. Death metal band that I actually enjoy somewhat. Something Legacy. 5 years since their last record came out. They are demoing a record's worth of music last year, and enough time has passed for there to be a reasonable expectations about a 2019 album release. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And Megadeth, one of my favorite bands. By the way, I mostly feature bands that I care about. I don't give a fuck about expanding my shit anymore. I'm old. Megadeth is supposedly got a record being on the works, and that would be awesome if they release it. And White Zombie supposedly has an album coming out, and Slipknot. It's been 5 years since Plant 5. I would like to see that. Okay, last segment coming up. Some tours. Again, these are ones that affect me and my friends. I'm sorry, but I don't care about your steak. It probably smells funny. Cradle of Filth, they're going to be in Washington. That one is a birthday present for my wife, whose birthday is in 9 days. And yeah, we're going to go check that one out. Cradle of Filth. Not really my cup of tea. Yeah, I've been to El Corazon a lot.
Okay.
That's where Ryan got jumped.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's terrible, dude.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, opening for the band will be Wednesday 13 and Raven Black, which are most likely local bands. I love that about El Corazon. No, I love that. No, I'm going to El Corazon. Tracy bought me tickets for my birthday. You can come too. They're $13.
Really?
Yeah, it's on February 2nd, and it's a benefit show for Ryan.
Oh, cool.
And it's got the Accused AD, who Blaine was one of the first people I ever met here of the Accused. And it's got Witchburn playing, who I think half of that band owns El Corazon, if I'm correct. I might be wrong. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. And then they got Himza playing, who I was checking out. They're hardcore-ish. Not my cup of tea, but I hear they're amazing live, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's one. And this one's for you, Tim. Kiss. Did you think they were done? Oh, hell no. Having sold over 500,000 tickets for the first round of dates, Kiss have announced a second leg of their End of the Road tour. And guess what? Oh, by the way, that's, 312 is Cradle of Filth at El Corazon. Kiss will be at the Tacoma February 2nd. You know what? I'm announcing shit to a guy that works in the stage industry. He probably already knows all of this. But whatever, I thought of you when I did it. So Kiss is still out there. Not my band, but I'd love to go with you, Tim, just because I think it'd be cool. Plus, I'd like to go to any concert with you. I'm sure you could let me see cooler stuff than just anybody. All right, so that was my metal news. Wah, 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 motherfuckers. Thank you for tuning into that. Like you had a choice, we've got you trapped. It's been over an hour. We still got stuff to talk about because I have questions for Dan for the vaping industry.
All right.
Did you get everything out of your system?
No.
Good. This might be a two-parter. I might have to come back and do this next Sunday.
I'd be fine with that. I do want to mention real quick, there's a couple of calls to action for Washington State.
Oh, okay. Tim, listen, hey, let's get Tim. Tim wanted to join real quick. Let me figure out how to do that.
Well, I'll just point this out. There's an advocacy group for vapors, basically, because the industry is under attack. It's a lot of it small businesses, a lot of grassroots, a lot of people that want to hold on to the vaping stuff that they have because the industry is under attack, not only from the FDA, tobacco companies and pharma companies, but from smoking health groups, the tobacco-free kids, and for a while, American Lung Association was attacking vaping. Blah blah blah. They've kind of flipped the script on this on those guys actually recognize that vaping is safer. So it's like
They look good.
but
I'm still in my underwear eating
CAAA.org, CASA.org. Everybody that vapes or cares about
What
a
is it?
vapor, CASAA.org.
CASSA.org.
CASAA.
CASAA.org.
.org.
You're gonna need to email me on that stuff so
Yeah,
I
that's
can
fine.
post it on the final video. What's up, Tim?
Hey, how long have you been vaping? Not you, Dennis, but the other Daniel.
I've been vaping since 2011.
So you were talking about earlier when vaping first started and they had the shitty little pens, right?
Yeah.
I probably went through literally 20 of those different things before I was like, this is just stupid, right?
Yeah.
Now Dennis, what's your wattage that you vape at?
It depends on this Falcon coils that I'm doing, which is a lovely wood pulp with cotton mix. I usually vape them at 66.6. A, because it's, it's Satan, and B, because it's just, I used to vape really high and I realized I didn't have to. I could back down, and my whole life has lately been progressing off of things in a way. I never quit anything totally, but for me, I just want less and less of it and to be less invasive. But 3 milligram at around 60 to 70 watts.
So I've tried to go with lower wattage, right? Down. And so that always makes funny because you pussy vape.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right? I mean, because I always hit it like between 110 and 130, right?
Jesus, we were just talking about that. Yeah, that's crazy. But then again, if that's what you're into and that's what you're comfortable with, then it's the same thing.
I don't, and this is why, and honestly, because when I try to vape at lower wattage vapes, like when I try to use the lower wattage stuff, I can kill a tank like that big in a matter of 2 fucking hours, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not kidding, because I am just like, I have to get it.
Have
Now,
you
if I
tried
vape at a higher,
salts?
huh?
Have you tried the salts? And
You know what? My Harley does it,
yeah.
and so I tried to hit. I was like, whoa. Dude, I'm down to a 3, and to be honest, dude, I enjoy the fuck out of vaping.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't find
that's
any.
the thing.
That's something else that I brought up the other day with somebody, was that it's an alternative to smoking. Yes, it's healthier. Yes, but it's also enjoyable for smokers. And that's the thing I think a lot of alternatives to smoking have missed. It's not enjoyable. And if it's not enjoyable, smokers aren't going to do it anyway. So, but I think that's also the double-edged sword that, some people are going to get into it because it is enjoyable. But
when I smoked cigarettes, right, for years, like I said when I posted on here, I smoked cigarettes for 32 years, right? And I was a diehard smoker, dude. I smoked fucking literally upwards of 30 to 40 cigarettes a day.
Oh, I get
and that's
that.
no shit.
Yeah, no, that's how I was
Right?
too. And if I was drinking,
Oh yeah, and also, and I kind of quit drinking at the same time I quit smoking cigarettes, which was ironic, right? But
right.
I advocate, dude, to everybody I know when they're like, "How vaping's the same thing," and I'm like, "No, it's not, dude." Like, I used to take a fat dab, right, and then I would be dying, and then I would try to smoke a cigarette because it's kind of a stimulant, so it kind of takes that pain away, right? It does. It makes you stop coughing really hard when you smoke a cigarette. Now, vaping, I don't have to do that. If I take a fat dab, I'm going to cough and hack, but I don't have to take a vape to cure it, right? Because now I can breathe better. I used to hack up the worst shit, dude. Like, I mean, scary shit. Like,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the videos they make of where they do the false lung and the air compressor and all that shit?
Yes.
And they
Yeah.
suck all the cigarettes into it? and then they do the vape juice.
Yeah, it's
Right?
great. Dude, the reason your
Dude,
body
I don't hack up anything anymore unless I just took a dab and it's 20 minutes later and I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. But
have
other
you
than that,
have you looked into the electronic dabs at all? They're getting better and better. Haha, you rocking a Roken?
this one is a Yokan. Anyway, this is the 99% distillate right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm running. Yeah.
Um,
I love this thing, dude.
I,
This thing has got me. It gets you, and people. I give it to people. I don't warn them. And it's like hit it like a chili, bro. It'll knock the back of your fucking head off. And that's broken. Broken. I met the
I just
distributor.
say, yeah, this one I just got a month ago from my vape shop. It's magnetic, so it drops down in there.
Yep. That seems to be
I
the
love
big
this.
thing now. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't, dude. You cannot get it out of there. This thing hit. I can't. I give it to Tracy, and she just like ruins it, right? Like,
How's Mama Metal doing over there? I saw her.
she's doing laundry.
Oh, me and Mama Metal. I see.
Yeah.
I think the next
She
big
made me
thing
a-
when it comes to weed vapes
made me a
is gonna
bacon
be
sandwich.
temperature control, heat not burn, that kind of thing. I think that's the big thing.
We are literally the last generation. Well, the kids are that are ever gonna smoke weed like we used to smoke weed. Man.
Yeah.
That's not. That's gonna be.
Dude, at my buddy's vape shop, right? He has
Which is what? Give
like the
everybody a
newest
shout out
email.
after you finish that
Yeah,
bite.
Vapor State, dude. Vapor State in Bonnie Lake.
Vapor State and
My
Vine
buddy
Lake.
Ron,
Rhymes. Vape and
buddy
smoke.
Ron, dude, he's
No. We need
he
to
just opened up Vapor State 2 on Steel Street in Tacoma.
Yeah.
This guy is like the guru of vaping, dude. You got to meet him, Daniel.
Well,
Like,
I have the wizard of vaping, so the wizard and the guru should meet. Okay? Form a secret alliance of vapors.
Ron is super passionate about it, dude. He's a I don't know how you don't know this guy and being in the vape community. He made the first mobile vaping shop that he can take places.
Oh, that's cool.
Now he has 2 of them. He does like festivals. So he does Hemp Fest every year. He's taking vaping to that place, like, hey, you guys should, trying to get people to try it.
Get one of those. Cooking in it.
Yeah.
Just a good advocate for the cause of it, dude. You should come into his shop sometime, Daniel, and check it out. He has his own juice line.
Cool.
He knows a lot of people and a lot about it, and he's got a lot of people come at him because he's not trying to be competitive. He just wants people to vape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So he has really super great prices, and he just is a super good guy. Like, he wants people to do this rather than smoke cigarettes.
And see,
I buy 100.
that's something that
I've
I've always been into. Is like I've always tried to get into industries because I've always been in retail. I've been in retail for years, but I've always tried to get into industries where I know I'm helping somebody. And there's nothing better than
It's
knowing.
a good fucking feeling, man.
Oh hell yeah! Once you know that you got somebody off of their smokes, it's like finally we did it.
I'm into Instagram. I have customers that come in and fucking just love me, and they tell me every day how much better they feel.
Yeah.
They're coming in just chain smoking, and then you can smell it on them the first couple times. And they come in, they're like, yeah, it's just a better thing. I'm gonna have to cut this short on this part because we're gonna get back. Well, I guess I don't. You can hang out if you want. Fuck. I've never had somebody just on screen before. It's tripping me out. Now, I don't know how well you're coming through on the audio side of it for the other parts, but at least on this one, you'll be on the YouTube video too. Which, subscribe, share with all your friends that you're on it now. Show everybody. Help make me famous.
I don't want. Oh, you can be famous.
What do you think about going to see Kiss?
What do I think about going to see Kiss?
Are you going to be working?
I've never missed a Kiss show in Seattle since like 1999. So,
well, I've never seen them live at all. I know. That's why I was thinking of you when I did that fucking little story. I was like, oh, I think we should go see Kiss. We'll talk about it when we go see fucking The Accused in Witchburn.
We'll definitely be going and seeing Kiss, dude.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm actually gonna go drop a deuce, but
All right. Tell Tracy I love her. All right, you're gonna be on my next. I'll have both of you guys. It's Sundays. You guys should come over one time and do a podcast. Plus, you can pick up the weed pipe that you left here, like ages ago.
with my cool case that I missed so much.
Yeah, it's in my cool hutch. It's become a collector.
All right, brother.
All right, dude. Thank you for joining. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Later, brother.
All right, bye.
Love you too, man.
I don't know if I have to do anything to make you disappear. That might be on you. Anyways. All right, that was Tim Lambert. My best friends in the whole wide world's old man. He's a cool dude, and we love him. He makes my Tracy happy. I tried to do it once, but then he played this goofy ass character, and I was like, no. It's nowhere on my production notes. I actually fucking try to be an organized thing here.
It's very professional.
It'll get there. Next time you walk in, it'll be awesome. I got hardwood floors, and my wife just insists we put this fucking carpet in here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna burn it. Or, I'm gonna put it in the back of our new truck. Apparently, we get to buy that truck we were borrowing, which is fucking awesome. Linda and Mark, you guys are amazing human beings. Am I missing anything here? No, I gotta remember to do that part. I used the laminator at work just because I got really excited by that. I got a couple things around here I need to get laminated. I'll buy more laminating sheets. Anyways, so today's topic was, hold on, Machine Corpse. This is my voice was different. More of a yelling kind of. The fun thing about this fucking song is that it was one take, one fucking kill. He just fucking loaded it up with the music, and I just grabbed the mic. I'd been fired from my old band. I'd come off of crack cocaine. I was totally ruined. And this song just fucking, and it was literally, he made me do it twice so that he could layer the vocals. We have an album. I should give it to you. It's called Scrap Metal.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll just give you all of these. Even the fucking awesome ones. Like, these are the ones we had to cover in fucking Alaska. His remixes of fucking the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back into it, man. You need to get things out, and you need to email me all of this information.
Will do. There's two things that are happening in Washington, two bills that are currently in committee. There were some public hearings this past week, and I don't know what the result is, but nonetheless, there's two bills, HB 1074 and SB 5057, both of which, in their own way, would raise the minimum tobacco and vaping age in Washington State to 21.
And how do you feel about that?
I would be fine with them raising the tobacco age, but not the vaping age. And here's the thing that kills me is that there are people that are 18 that were a tobacco smoker that have ventured into vaping, and now they're vaping instead because they're trying to improve their life. And these bills would actually remove all options from them.
There's a lot of money out there pushing against it, dude.
Not to mention, you can join the military at 18.
You know how much smoking feeds into the pharmaceutical industry in the long term?
Yeah.
You think they want people to quit smoking? They got whole fucking armies of doctors and shit that get paid just to deal with fucking people dying of emphysema and all that shit. It's sick.
The other factor, too, for a lot of states that have raised the minimum age is that it's the money from the tobacco settlements from the 70s. So in the 70s, the states all kind of got together and said, hey, fuck you, tobacco companies. You've caused all of this death and destruction and caused all of these expenses healthcare-wise. We need some payback. So the tobacco settlements, the tobacco lawsuit settlements or whatever, basically for every pack of cigarettes sold in a state, that state gets a certain dollar amount, which just goes into the coffers for the state generally. Well, they're not getting as much money now because smoking rates are way down and vaping is higher. So what some states have done in order to compensate is they started taxing vaping higher. which is kind of counterintuitive to me. I mean, yes, it gets them the money that they were missing.
Yeah, but that's
from the
it.
tobacco
That's the
settlements.
thing, is that nobody gives a fuck. We
Yeah.
give a fuck about people. People give a fuck about people, but corporations are only people because some stupid law says they are, but they're not people, and they don't give a fuck about us. The bottom line is money. Money is successful. Money makes you win.
Yeah.
America, the game, I guess.
But,
I don't know.
But the other thing is, like, they're just looking for an alternative for that source of state income, so they're going to tax vaping. But ultimately, what they intend to do is, or ultimately what they're going to end up doing is they're going to push people away from vaping back to fucking tobacco, because it's not going to cost.
So you're
anyone.
saying it's fiscally responsible to tax less, make the income off it,
Yeah,
and help
because
people at the same time, which is a positive.
vaping is the safer alternative.
It
That's
is,
all there
which
is
is-
to it.
okay,
You
so-
look at what the Royal College of Physicians say. They're saying 95 to 98% safer
Why
than
is
tobacco.
England so far fucking ahead of us? Are they more open-minded? Are they just a better
No.
people?
It has to do with who's funding the medical system.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's a whole other
America
Rottcast.
is all privatized. In
Yeah.
England, it's
The
socialized
privatized
medicine.
anything sucks to me. I guess I'm a socialist piece of shit. But
But-
I don't
but
think you should
I-
make money off of illness and shit. I think
No.
you'd have less illness and better things to make money off of, like art and just going to space. And,
Yeah, I'm sure there's some utopia where all of it's
other-
possible. But the
Oh, no,
point
there's
is,
not. There's people. You see, there's people.
Yeah. But the point is that
Dolphins can fly to
that
space.
people are paying for their own health care in England through taxation, and because the medical system in England,
You're not getting my money.
they don't have a financial need to make up shit.
Yeah, we're not getting into the whole how much better England and,
'Cause if
and
you
those
remember-
countries are than us, because it makes us real pieces of shit, and then that prideful fucking redneck comes out and we're like, well, this is how it is, damn it, because we're America, and we ain't told me to take my money, I work hard for it, I work myself to a grave, because that's what my daddy did. Well, your daddy lived in a different era where, you know, I digress.
Where you helped your fellow man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Ah,
but nonetheless, so they have a reason to say, hey, you should switch to vaping. And then they're actually saying it's safer because it costs them less overall, healthcare wise. So if the FDA actually gave a shit,
they don't.
then they would probably promote vaping as a safer alternative as well. And it seemed like the head of the FDA was going to do that for a minute, but then he started backtracking a little bit.
They'll get there.
It's kind of obnoxious, but nonetheless, that was the thing. They're trying to raise the age to 21 in Washington, and while that won't destroy the industry, it's not going to be real helpful for those that are now vaping instead of smoking. And it's also not going to really help our military, because there are a lot of people in the military. I mean, 90% of our customers over at the shop are military.
Yes, they are. They are awesome.
And you can join the military at 18, you can fight and die for the country, but fuck, you can't have a cigarette. That sounds stupid.
Yeah, well, that's been my argument since I was a heavy smoker as a kid, and same with drinking and everything else. Once
Yeah.
they put a gun, it just should be a given. Like, once they put a gun in your arms and tell you to go fight somebody, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. And they should give you a platoon of whores, so you don't just get some chick pregnant before you deploy like everybody does. I mean that in the most complimentary way, of course.
But the other thing is, federally now they're talking. There's talks between the FDA and some of these anti-smoking groups that are talking about flavor bans and things of that nature.
I don't care about the fucking flavor ban. Be honest with you,
I'll put it this way, man. If a flavor ban happens,
how would that affect us as a business?
we would go under it. That's just all there is to it. If we couldn't have that wall of different flavors,
Yeah.
it would be like, oh, you want to buy a new vape system? Cool, yeah, we got all these really cool things for the hardware. What flavor would you like, tobacco or menthol? That's all you're gonna get, or unflavored, I guess. That's the other thing that killed me, is oftentimes they talk about a flavor ban and they're like, oh, it's just tobacco. It's like, yeah, but tobacco is a fucking flavor. Vape juice has no flavor innately.
Yeah.
It has to have flavoring.
But you'd still get your nicotine, I'm saying.
You still would, but part of the fun of it, part of the thing, for me,
It seems taboo to be allowed to even say the fun of it, I guess. That's
because it's fun.
it is.
It becomes a hobby.
He's
And I think
addicted.
a hobby aspect of it and the DIY aspect of it, all of that is what kept me interested in it and kept me going with it. instead of reverting back to, well, I was a pipe smoker, I was a cigar smoker, I actually enjoyed those things a lot. So it's kind of, it's the DIY aspect of it. It's the seeking new flavors, the checking out the new tech, and so on and so forth that really got me to stick with it. Because otherwise I would have just stuck with smoking.
Yeah.
I was to that point where I wasn't smoking a lot. I mean, shit. I was only smoking like a half a pack a day at the most.
I always do everything in exuberance. I smoke like crazy, dude.
But it's the hobby aspect of it that kept me going, and that was part of it. But anyway, so yeah, that's the regulation side of things. But I did have a couple of there was a really interesting thread on Reddit the other day that I wanted to talk about because there were some really interesting expectations.
Expectations.
They were talking about when buying vape gear, and I thought that was really fascinating. So a couple of the expectations they were talking about were that coils and pods are disposable items, and manufacturers are not going to replace or warranty any of them. It's like you can't expect that at all.
Yeah.
From the coils and pods. Because they're mass manufactured. Occasionally you get a dud.
That always happens. That's what I try to tell people. I was like, I don't think they realize that these are made in massive
quantities.
They barely keep up with them because they're always running out of fucking shit.
Yeah, of course. But if you have a coil that burns out in 1 or 2 days, don't expect any care from the manufacturer. Yeah. Most shops aren't going to warranty it either.
We can't.
No, there's just nothing to do about it. You just accept it and move on.
Although a lot of times we're pretty cool about it.
Yeah.
If we know.
Usually.
With our customers, our regulars.
If there's an obvious quality control issue, we usually do pretty good about taking care of it.
Yeah.
All vape devices will show wear and tear through use. It's just gonna happen. Paint peels. Stuff starts to look kind of grody after a while.
What are you rocking today?
I've got the OBS Cube. It's a little built-in battery device.
For sale at Vape and Smoke.
It's indeed available at Vape and Smoke. I'm actually vaping the Wild Buffalo today. That's the root beer float flavor.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's pretty good actually. Really dig it.
I'm vaping Rogue because
you always vape Rogue.
Oh, that is tasty.
Yeah, it's really yummy. But yeah, there's that. It's fairly standard policy across the vaping spectrum of shops. Doesn't matter what shop you go to, if you're ordering online or whatever. No one's going to take a return on e-juice. Just expect that.
I get people who try.
Yeah.
We actually had a customer call us asking if we wanted to buy his fucking old e-juice. Tyler was just
like, no.
What? No, go
Here's
away.
the thing. Vape juice and coils, once they're open, they're kind of consumable items. You inhale things off of these things, or you inhale vape juice. It's like a food product. We're not going to take that back.
We had one guy come in fucking just angry because he just bought the mod and he didn't like it the next day.
Yeah.
Try to return it. Like,
that doesn't work, man.
I love what I do. I fucking it's basically, I look at it as several hours of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I get individual audiences. Sometimes I get a room. I've had people die trying to get out of our store laughing. And then I help them. And a surprising amount of little old ladies come into my store who will tear you apart like a badger into a muffin. They really will. And they take no bullshit, and then you get them on it, and they're so much happier. You know, or you see a mother with a daughter, and the daughter's trying, which I'm trying to get my mom on these fucking things. These fucking things. But yeah.
So here's another thing that I wanted to point out is that...
Bringing it back.
Most vaping companies, the manufacturers of these products, are not in the United States. There's most of them are in China. Many are in the Philippines. There's a few of them, very few, from Europe, and there's one in Japan. But generally, there's maybe 2 or 3 of these companies that are in the U.S. And have done everything solely in the U.S. So people have to expect that if you have a quality issue or you have a warranty problem, you have to kind of expect to go through the vendor that you bought it from. And if you're at a shop that doesn't have any kind of warranty or return policy, it's like all sales final.
Oh, and nobody
9 times out of 10, you're gonna be fucked.
Nobody fills out their fucking online warranty cards and shit.
True.
I tell people, you just bought a fucking $100 mod and a setup and everything. Go online when you get home, pull out the little booklet. It's usually online, and you just fucking fill it out.
Yeah.
Fill that out, and then you can at least try to make the steps. I mean, we break mods because we're cocky.
Yeah.
You know, but
but I think the thing that I want people to understand is that manufacturers of mods, for the most part, don't know that they need to deal with you. So ultimately what I try and focus on, especially at the shop when I'm doing ordering, is I try and focus on brands that I know either have good customer service or they have a U.S. service center, because trying to get in contact with a Chinese company and return something is insanely difficult, if not impossible in some cases.
it's even hard for us.
Yeah.
And we work there. We have
So,
the connections.
That's definitely something to expect. But it's not all doom and gloom as far as that goes. I mean, if you have a good shop, they're going to take care of you. So that's kind of the point.
We have the best shop.
I like to
We
think
are
so.
the best.
I like to think so. 'Cause,
Although my journey into the weed store is beginning. I'll be working both here sooner or later. I cannot wait to sell marijuana to people. It's also a helpful industry. Go my CBD and everything else.
Should we get into the
Whatever you're going to say, no. Because we're at an hour 30.
oh shit.
And even with editing, I'm not going to be able to pull this down under an hour.
Oh.
So it's good. But no, it's good. And we can continue this conversation when you're a guest again.
Yeah.
On my next one. Thank you for Tim for this song is creepy as fuck. When I was singing it on stage, I imagine myself as like a 1980s fucking stalker. Well, I get to know your name now, baby. You learn your private number. What the fuck? This is like the 80s, so you literally had to go through a phone book.
Yeah.
You look like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms. Why want someone? I set my sights on you, and no one else will do. And I wanna have your way now, baby. All I know is that to me, you look like you're lots of fun. Open up your fucking arms. Why? Yeah, here I come. It's a fucked up song, but a great remix by Mr. Chris Barton, I must say. Yeah, had to liven this up a little bit.
There you go.
Having guests is dull.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. It was awesome. Yeah,
I talk
kidding.
a lot.
This was the idea. This is what I wanted. I could use you for anything. And eventually, even when he's not here, I just plan on invading his privacy and like, hey man, I'm on live cast. I need you. No, but to do questions, I'm going to make a Ask the Wizard section
Oh shit.
on Facebook that people would do. So Dan will hopefully be a regular on the show. Once I improve this greatly, and hopefully now, the whole point of having him on was to educate people on vaping, kill some rumors, and
Because
understand
vaping
that it's
fucking
fun.
saves lives.
Saving mine right now, man. Between, you know, it just came at the perfect time in my life. It is the future.
Yep.
I still always have that. It's too good to be true, but I mean, you know how I know it's working, because my doctor is dumbfounded.
Yeah.
He's dumbfounded. He won't admit it. He's just like, well, you know what I mean? And yeah, I've done some big obvious things. So easy to get healthy. I quit eating too much. I quit fucking drinking too much. God, I would love a beer. Oh, I owe you for the coffee still. You gotta pay your gas.
What was it?
I don't know. I might have you run me to the store and get a beer. The crazy big coffee.
Crazy big coffee.
Which got me all jacked up. I think that's why I had that minor panic attack. I had to drink that shit fast. So, yeah, man. I think that might be it for today. Dan, thank you for coming on to the show.
Of course. Are you looking for an
I
entry?
was trying to be professional, you
Oh.
fucker.
How professional.
See, I don't do the Donald Trump. I hate people that do it. Plus, I always wear rings, so they get one of those assholes that want to crush my hand. I'm like, hey, you know, I used to play bass. Destroy their fingers. thank you for everybody. Like I said, this has been Livecast. It will be, of course, distributed through the YouTube and the Rottcast and all this crap, and then the podcast for audio. Should all be out sometime by Wednesday. That's what I aim for. It's a lot of work. And Jerry and Dennis are douchebags. And they're fighting right now. Apparently Jerry pawned some of Dennis's shit for some heroin. He's a real mess. He's a real mess. Dennis stabbed him with the microphone stand. So thank you, Dan, for coming on the Rottcast. Hold on, I gotta do engineering stuff real quick. Get to work, Jerry. And next week, I have no idea what I will be talking about or doing or anything else. So, hell metal. And this is me trying to find something. Peace. This one needs to be worked on.
Thanks for listening.
That's all mumbly right there. Little towards the
And, we'll take time to restore chaos.
And we are out of here. Thanks, Dan. That was fun.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta show my my little room here real quick, just cause I don't get to show it during the fucking podcast. My trophy room.
It's very cloudy right now.
It's very cloudy. I love it. They gave Dan some Alaska wings for being on the podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna trick him into going to Alaska someday.
Oh, God.
Third world shit right there. Bye, motherfuckers.